All right, we have just received some development notes for July 8th today. Class and tier set tuning. This was posted 2 minutes ago. I have been waiting for some class tuning and some tier set adjustments, and it has finally shown up. And so we're going to go through this. I haven't looked at them yet. As soon as it popped up, I got the camera ready, and we're going to go through it together. So, first thing, we got the additional raid testing. Yep, that's normal. All right, we're gonna start with Death Knight. So we got the Deathbringer hero tree. Mana Forge, Omega, 4-set bonus. Exterminate deals 20% increased damage, and Reaper's Mark can stack up to 15 additional times. Upon exploding, Reaper's Mark increases your critical strike chance by 10%. What did it used to be? I don't think it doesn't say, so maybe it's not a change. Let's see. An issue causing the Mana Forge Omega 2-set bonus to not grant the bonus damage to Undeath and Trollbane's Ice Fury has been resolved. Okay, so they fixed the bug for the Rider of the Apocalypse. All right, Frost. Now, this I'm interested in because I got a good buddy who plays Frost. He's played Frost all last season and loves it, and he was very down on the changes they were making. So let's see if they've made it any better. So we've got Trollbane's Ice Fury bonus from the Mana Forge set bonus has been increased to 20%, was 10%. Always good to see some numbers go up. Trollbane's Obliterate from the set bonus now deals frost damage if it was triggered from an Obliterate that consumed Killing Machine. Okay, so that's good because I think Killing Machine is like crazy strong right now to the point where every set plays around it. Trollbane's Frostlight damage from the 4-set bonus has been increased by 100%. I don't know how bad it was before, but that seems to be quite a jump there. Unholy. An issue causing White Mane's Epidemic to benefit from the mastery twice has been resolved, so it's a nerf if you were playing Unholy on the PTR. White Mane's Death Coil damage increased by 100%. Again, I don't know how bad that was to give it a 100% increase, but I know DKs are kind of in a tough spot right now where, grip is not a raid buff type of thing, and I think they just need to be absolute demons for damage in order to get this to play out well. So now we got Death Coil, that increased by 100%. Epidemic damage from the Mana Forge Omega 4-set bonus has been increased by 50%. And the Undeath bonus from the 2-set has been increased by 10% to 20%. Okay, so that's good. I heard my Discord just ping, so I want to make sure that we didn't get another Monks even more mandatory in Mythic raid in patch 11.2. Okay. They just received a substantial buff. Oh, to Mystic Touch. Okay, all right, hold on. They really want Brewmaster to be meta, but we're gonna get there. Sand Lane, 4-set bonus, Vampiric Strike now additionally increases the ability damage of Pet Ghoul and Dancing Rune Weapon by 10%. That's good. I think Sand Lane's what BDK runs right now. Corrupted Blood ability of Blood Beast damage has been increased by 25%. I know that they kind of tanked the Blood Beast for a little bit, or not tanked it, but they made it weaker. So that's big. Oh, I got my dog chasing his tail behind me. Pact of Sand Lane now stores 15% of the shadow damage done in the Blood Beast was 10%. Okay, so they're getting that back. I think it was like 25% at its highest and then 10% at its lowest, so that's good. Frenzied Bloodthirst now increases the damage of Death Coil by 8% per stack of essence, was 5. That's pretty good. I don't know how many times it stacks, but if it's a 3% increase per stack, you're gonna feel that across them. All right, Frost. All damage increased by 10%. Love that. Obliterate damage increased by 30%. That's good. But yeah, because Obliterate was what they were playing recently. My buddy's a big Breath of Cindergrosa enjoyer, but 30% increase to Obliterate damage is going to be great. Empowered Rune Weapon damage now scales with Mastery. I know they kind of stacked crit. I don't know where their Mastery laid. I know Unholy. I think Unholy stacked Mastery. So maybe if Mastery is good for Frost, it'll make it easier to dual spec. Empowered Rune Weapon is now correctly considered Shadow Frost for the Deathbringer hero talent tree. That's good. Consuming Killing Machine causes Frost Scythe to deal 4 times the normal damage, was 3. Killing Machine apparently was already really strong, and you were kind of playing around it. So that's just going to make it even stronger. Couple bug fixes. Unholy, Mastery. Dreadblade has an additional effect. Increases the critical strike damage of your minions and diseases by 20%, scaling at a reduced amount. Okay, that seems pretty good. I don't play a lot of Unholy. I haven't, so I don't know how much of your damage is from your pets. but increasing the critical strike damage of, oh, I guess it's critical strike damage, not critical strike. So depending on how often they crit, if it's scaled off of yours, see how it goes. Menacing Magus now causes Magus of the Dead Shadow Bolt to fire up to 8 nearby enemies. I don't know what it did before, but I know that they got capped on some of their AoE with the Festering Wounds, I think it was. So that's probably trying to balance that out. Same with the epidemic damage increased by 30%. Again, probably trying to balance that out. Death Coil damage has been increased by 35%. Festering Wounds burst damage has been increased by 25%. Commander of the Dead now increases the damage of Legion of Souls. Unholy Aura now increases the damage of enemies take from Legion of Souls. So this looks like they're just trying to balance out the fact that they capped the wound burst. Generally, I think Death Coil's single target, if I remember correctly. But having your Shadow Bolt fire up to 8 nearby enemies, having the wound damage higher up, and having the Commander of the Dead increasing the damage and your aura increasing damage, it feels like they're just trying to still give them good AoE while being capped. Now we got Harbinger of Doom now causes sudden doom to increase the damage of your next Death Coil by 40 was 20%, or Epidemic by 20 was, that's 100% increase in like the damage buff, so that's really good. And like I said, it seems like this is all focused around, well, I guess I didn't cap everything on their AoE, but I don't know. I think the wounds were like the big bursting part of their damage, aside from Blood Beast if you played Sand Lane. But we'll see if this brings them back, because I know that nobody likes to be hard capped. I played Rogue for a long time, and it sucks being hard capped when you have Boomkin and Unholy before everything. Just being able to rip through unlimited amount of targets and you're just capped at 8 feels really bad. So I'm glad that they're giving them some love after giving the cap on the Festering Wounds. Now, if it wasn't wounds that they capped, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's what they had just recently done. Demon Hunter Eldrachi Reaver now increases Reaver Glaive damage by 50% was 60, and other physical damage by 25 was 30. This is the start of the DH nerfs. This is the first set. Now increases Chaos Strike damage by 20%, while Immolation Aura is active was 30. They're starting to tone it down. I feel like they're just going to keep dropping DH little by little by little until it's out of the meta. Because right now it's still really good on PTR. Like, it's still very good. All right, Elune Chosen, 2-set bonus. Star Surge cast by this set bonus no longer trigger Elune. Oh man, the cooldown effect. The CDR of arcane abilities reducing your lunar beam. That's why this set was good. It does not do a lot of damage. It does it substantially less compared to like the Boomkin one. So the big selling point was that you had lunar beam so often, because when this would proc, if you ran the claws talent that makes Thrash hit twice or has a chance to hit twice, you could clear out your cooldown so quickly. And it does, like I said, it does no damage. I was playing around on target dummies. It's like 1% of my damage or something. Like it's next to nothing. But having that up made it easier to survive big pulls. You were almost guaranteed to have lunar beam up every pull. And so the fact that they just took that away kind of sucks. This interaction was unintended and added more power to the set than desired. There's no power to the set now. So I really hope they change that, because those Star Surges are weak. All right, Wildstalker. Each stack of Bloodseeker's Vine on an enemy increases bursting growth damage by 40%, was 30%. So that's good. I was playing around with Feral too. I like Feral a little bit, but I was playing Druid of the Claw, I think, not Wildstalker. But this is good. I think Druid of the Claw is better right now, at least on PTR. So this I like bringing up the weaker trees. All right, Og, or Evoker. I have been playing Evoker and I've been waiting for talent for tuning for quite a while. The first set just was a tooltip change, so I hope that there's something good here. All right, Mana Forge Omega 4-set bonus now increases Chrono Flame's effect by 15%, was 10%, and the damage/healing cap increased to 450% spell power, was 400%. Temporal Burst with the 4-set bonus increases the number of Chrono Flame's targets by 2, it was 1, and it fixed an issue where After Image would not be affected by the 4-set. Okay, so the issue with the Chrono Warden set is that it makes Chrono Flames stronger than Eruption. but it only makes Chrono Flames stronger than Eruption in a window where you would typically be spamming Eruption, because Eruption extends Ebb and Might, Chrono Flames doesn't. If they made it so Chrono Flames extended Ebb and Might when Temporal Burst was active, then it'd be really good, because Chrono Flames is better than Eruption right now. So the problem is you're forced to Eruption when you want to Chrono Flames. And then what people have been trying to do is build into an Emerald Blossom, calling it Green Og, where you build into an Emerald Blossom build where that extends Ebb and Might, not Eruption. And then when you heal with that, it makes your Chrono Flame stronger. So you're Chrono Flaming nonstop in your window and then just spamming your heal to extend Ebb and Might, because you don't want to cast Eruption, you want to keep casting Chrono Flame. So it's just like a counterintuitive set. And I feel like it's just not worth that. Like that, one, the playstyle is extremely mana heavy to do the healing thing. And it just doesn't, it feels clunky. It's kind of like a meme build right now. But we'll see if anything comes out of this. I would really love for the 4 set to make Chrono Flames extend Ebb and Might while in the Temporal Burst window, because that would just be significantly better, and it would just make the whole set just like a cohesive element. All right, Flame Shaper. Inner Flame increases periodic healing and damage by 25% per stack, was 40. Okay, so it's a nerf to, I believe, Dev is playing this. I think Flame Shaper is also played by Prez too. And Prez was actually doing really good. So this is a nerf to Prez and Dev, which kind of tough. Dev's good, but not a lot of people played it. I think mainly because it just yoinked threat right away. So it was kind of hard to play in season 2. Inner Flame now plays a fiery visual. That's cool. I think the visuals are nice. I think that a lot of the hero talent should be heavy on the visuals. Essence Bomb now triggers twice if the evoker has 2 stacks of Inner Flame. Okay. So I think still like it's a general nerf with a buff to the visual. Scale Commander fixed an issue where the 4 set bonus would not dynamically update Mass Disintegrate or Mass Eruptions when applied and removed. Okay. Beast Mastery Hunter fixed an issue with Huntsmaster's Call that was causing Haiti and Fenrir's attacks to have higher than usual variance. Haiti and Fenrir's base damage increased to about 2 times of a normal Dire Beast damage. BM was already really, really good. So that seems like a weird thing to buff. All right, Mage. So the set bonus now increases Meteor, Comet Storm, and Frostfire Burst damage by 30%. Frostfire Bolt damage unchanged. Okay, so it's a little buff to the other abilities. That's good. Arcane Spellslinger. Arcane Blast now additionally grants 2 stacks of Arcane Harmony. I'd have to figure out what my my buddy plays Arcane Mage. I think that's good. I think you're constantly looking for Arcane Harmony buffs. So he said it plays very similar to on PTR that it does to live, with like just a slight change in focus on your onto buffs. Like I think he said you don't barrage as much or you don't missiles as much. It's it's kind of like just like a swap to a different style, but generally it's close. Frost, the 2 set bonus, Ice Lance now additionally has a 100% chance to grant 1 stack of Cold Front. Cold Front Splendor proc, chance reduced to 20%. Okay. I think there was a bug with that before. When he was playing it, he said he wasn't getting procs as much as he should have been. But maybe that was just something that was implemented earlier than this list came out, and that's why he was feeling like that. Sun Fury, 2 set bonus now increases Spellfire Sphere spell damage bonus by 1%, was 2, so it's a nerf to Sun Fury. 1% change probably doesn't really do all that much. Mystical Touch now increases physical damage taken by 8%. Dude, it's a physical meta. They're trying real hard to make the physical meta. The amount of classes that deal pure physical damage is quite a bit less than those that can deal magic damage. For this reason, we are making some targeted adjustments to Mystic Touch to better improve its overall effectiveness for physical damage dealers. That's true. For a long time, Mystic Touch was kind of bad. Like 5% physical damage is 5% physical damage, but when you look at like Frost DKs, Assassination Rogues, even Hunters don't deal 100% physical. It's only like Warrior, and I think there's like one other class, but I can't think of it right now, that deal, and maybe Outlaw Rogue, that deal close to like 100% physical damage. So Battle Shout was always better than Mystical Touch or Mystic Touch, because Battle Shout is an attack power increase, so it helps everything. Whereas Mystic Touch, if you had Frost DK and Assassination Rogue, a lot of their damage is frost and nature, respectively. So it wasn't as big of a buff. So this kind of makes sense. And I think that the physical god comp is going to thrive, because if you have like feral druids are going to benefit a lot from this. Hunters are going to benefit a lot. Warriors, a ton. Outlaw, a ton. Like, this is going to be very good for the physical comp. Paladin, hero talents, Lightsmith. When Hammer and Anvil is activated by Crusader Strike, Blessed Hammer or Hammer of the Righteous, it will instead be cast at 75% effectiveness, was 100%. This was causing, Hammer and Anvil was causing prop allies to do a ton of damage. Even though Lightsmith wasn't great, the damage that it was able to do from Hammer and Anvil was really, really good. So this is good, kind of bringing it more in line. They need to buff up their defensiveness a little bit. I think they feel squishier than most of the other tanks. Foresight bonus. If a stack of masterwork is gained while at maximum stacks, a lesser armament will be cast on a nearby ally. That's good. It makes it so at least when you're at max stacks, it's not just wasted. You know, at least it's going to somebody. And if it's stacked up, if you can get it to get to like a couple different allies at a time, that'll be pretty good. Holy. Lesser weapons should now prioritize healers when possible. Okay. I don't really know anything about Holy Pally, unfortunately. So I'm guessing that is a healer-oriented thing. And it's prioritizing themselves, which is good. Shaman's had a crazy set, and they already got nerfed a little bit, so let's see what it goes now. So Elemental now grants Ascendance after gaining 9 stacks of Awakening Storms. It was 6, so it used to be lower, and then it went to 6, I think, and now it's at 9. And the set bonus now grants 6 seconds of Ascendance, was 8. Okay, so takes longer to get there, but they get Ascendance for longer. I think that's good. I'd rather have the buff for longer than get it more often. Now, Warrior Tree. Okay, so Warriors were doing very good on PTR, especially prot Warriors, so I'm curious how Colossus is being changed. Demolish increases the critical strike chance of your next 1 was 2 mortal strikes by 100%. Okay, so it's a nerf to that. That kind of sucks. It was really good with I mean, I'm assuming it's good for arms too. I didn't play a lot of arms, but it was nice having the shield slams. Mountain Thane. Ionizing strike damage increased by 725%. Yeah, Mountain Thane was bad. So a 725% buff. I'm curious to see if that puts it ahead, because I liked Mountain Thane more than Colossus. And increasing the damage of ionizing strikes. Wait, what? So the set bonus increases the strike damage by 725%. And then the 4-set bonus increases that by 100%. And they might do some damage. Slayer, execute damage increased by 10%, was 20. Okay, I think that execute is a niche for warriors, and they do a lot of damage in it, and it may have just been doing too much. Protection, Spellbreaker has been updated. Now has an 8% chance to affect a magical damage event, but reduces damage taken by 50%. Still bad. Like, 8% is better, but like, it's still bad. They took away spell block and gave us an 8% chance to get hit for half, which is like, most magical damage is just big bursting magical damage. So an 8% chance to get it halved is not good. You can't rely on that. All right, these are some dungeon changes, player versus player. I am not a player versus player. I am a player versus everything. So overall, some good changes to Death Knights. I think my Death Knight buddy's going to be pretty happy with that. I'm curious to see how the Chrono Warden changes, because now it's kind of forcing us to use Chrono Flames even more. I love the aesthetic and the playstyle of Chrono Warden a lot, so I would love to be able to play this, but I'm curious as to how we play it. Ideally, you're Ebb and Mighting your Temporal Burst and your Eons at the same time, and then you want to just extend, but maybe we don't extend as much as we used to. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. But yeah, that is the patch 11.2 notes for July 8th. So I'm looking forward to getting on the PTR right after this and playing around a little bit with the evoker. I was mountain farming, but really that's just killing time until the class tuning comes out. So until next time, guys.